Hello out there, it's Julie. Welcome in. Today I'm going to be talking about my most recent acquisitions with you. I have not had a chance to use too many of them, but these are all decks that I have been wanting for a while. Um, they're coming in, and I'm at the end or nearing the end of my buying journey. I'm sure over the course of time there'll be decks here and there that I would like to acquire. Um, but outside of that, things are drawing to a close, and now I can enjoy the decks that I do have and really focus on them. So, the deck I'm going to start with is the Navy di Giovani Vachetta, and I'm probably totally screwing up the name. But these were created in Italy in 1893. And this is a very important deck because this is one of the first decks that had the minor arcana illustrated. Now, with this deck, the illustrations don't necessarily go along with the meanings of the cards. It was for more decorative purposes, but it is a historically significant deck because of that. The booklet just gives you a history about the deck. It doesn't really tell you anything. There's no card meanings or anything in here. And the deck originally was printed in this kind of coloration. Now, there is a colored version of this, which I would like to acquire one day. I just haven't found a copy of it that I like. But here's the, this is the 5 or the 6 of spades. It's the 6 of spades. So here's the 6 of swords with a victory wreath. So wreath, not reef, wreath. And this reminds me a little bit more of the 6 of wands. And I do know at some point the wands and the swords were flipped. So like the swords were fire and the wands were air. So I don't wonder if that is where this came from. But anyway, I digress. Let's just take a look through these beautiful cards. The devil in this deck is one of my favorite cards in this deck. So you can see here's the 3 of Pentacles. And in some of the cards, while I know it's not meant to describe the meaning of the card, the illustration, sometimes it actually does work. And I don't wonder if A.E. Waite got some of his ideas from this deck. Justice. Hangman. See if I can find the devil. There it is. I love this version of the devil, and the colored version I've seen, it's really great. Here's the high priestess, but here she's la papessa, so she feels more churchly than she does like what we have come to expect of the high priestess. And it is nice sometimes having a deck where you can sort of reinterpret the meaning sometimes based on, your intuition or how you're feeling or what you're reading into the cards that day. So it is nice to have some flexibility. But I just thought this is a really cool deck. And I am looking forward to eventually having the colored version in my collection as well. I believe this is a limited series. So this is 833 out of 2,999. I got this deck on Tarot Arts. The next deck I'm going to show you is this deck by these people whose names I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but I had to find this on Amazon, the French Amazon, because it's all in French, and that was the only place I could find it. I've been very picky about my Oracle decks lately. And this one just really called me in, I think because it reminds me a lot of the Solara Occulto. But the artwork on this is just fabulous. Sorry for the reflections if you're seeing any. I had to turn my light on. It's a really overcast day today and I'm not getting much light in here. Like some of the words are I don't understand because they're in French. Like étoile, I know is star. This is sacrifice. But this, not sure what that means. Um, so yeah, I'll ask my husband. He took French in high school, so he'll be able to tell me. But I love the artwork. I think they're so beautiful. And I think they would go really well with a lot of decks, but this would look really good with the Solara occulto. So this is my, we'll just call it the medieval oracle. Then I have this oracle deck, Le Oracle Bleu. Let's see if I can say this. Vous devoir ses secrets. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but I'm going to pretend it is. I saw this deck a long time ago, and it stumbled across my Etsy page somewhat recently. And I was like, I forgot I wanted that deck, so I purchased it. So it's in English, Spanish, and French. I just think, again, it's another one where I just think the artwork is really cool. It's really beautiful, kind of weird, kind of quirky. I don't have much to say at the moment because I really haven't used it, but it's so pretty. Like, look at this, the benevolent. Isn't she beautiful? This reminds me of the high priestess. Look at a little froggy. So beautiful art. It seems like it's slightly collage style. Not sure when this deck was made, so I don't know if it would have been like a real collage or if it would have been more like digital collage. But whatever the case, it's a beautiful, beautiful deck. And if you are looking for it, it is called this, Le Oracle Bleu. Bleu. All right. Now, my next deck that I'm going to show you was a Kickstarter. And this is an Emma Zhang deck, or Zhang. I'm not sure how to say it 100%, but I love her Dream Visions deck. It's one of my favorite decks of all time. It's a minimal deck, and look, this is so fun. This is the Dreams of the Nile, and I did fund this Kickstarter, so it finally came in. When it comes out, you see the mummy in his sarcophagus. I love it. And so the guidebook opens up this way. You do have to read it this way. I always find that a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. And look at these backs. Aren't they beautiful? It's a really nice cardstock. It is a linen finish, and I believe somebody told me she did that. Oh, and let's just respect the interior of this box and how beautiful it is. Okay. She did that because she wanted it to sort of represent like papyrus from Egyptian times. So it's very, very indicative of her, like her style. It's very much her artistry, her work, how she visualizes it. Definitely reminds me a little bit of the Dream Vision Tarot, but with an Egyptian theme. That Hierophant. Oh. And it's a beautiful deck. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I love the Dream Vision deck so much, I bought a second copy of it. So I have the first edition and I have the second edition. And now I have this one. But oh, I love her decks. So I mean, I guess it's not for everyone. I never really wanted an Egyptian themed deck. But her Egyptian themed deck is just, it's very dreamlike and ethereal in many ways, just as her other deck is. So I now own an Egyptian deck and I need no more. So that is Dream of the Nile Tarot. And now for the piece de resistance that I'm so excited to share with you. I'm going to have to move my camera up because this is so big. This is, let's see if you can see it here. The Tarot of A.E. Waite and P. Coleman Smith, the story of the world's most popular tarot, with facsimiles of the original 1910 tarot deck and A.E. Waite's The Key to the Tarot. And this is by Taschen. And if you have never had a Taschen book, they make beautiful books. Now, this is a pretty penny. I think it's about $125, but I love the Waite Smith deck and I've studied it. And this is like a coffee table book. And it's an important piece for me personally to have in my collection because of my personal connection to the Waite Smith deck. But I will say, if you are somebody who's looking to get into tarot and you have some money to spare, this book is wonderful. I mean, it's massive. It's beautiful. And it gives you the history of tarot. It gives you the history of the deck. It goes into the Golden Dawn a little bit. And look, we look at this cross here. We see this on the back of, I believe it's the Thoth deck. And what was really cool to me is Hilma af Klint is one of my favorite artists, and I had no idea she was associated with the Golden Dawn. And Alfred Stieglitz is one of my all-time favorite photographers, and I had no idea he was associated with the Golden Dawn either. So that made me really happy because his photography, like this was photography when photography was truly an art form. But it goes into the cards, their meanings, all the symbols. And it's a very comprehensive book on the deck and the meanings of the cards and the symbolism in the cards. And understanding the symbolism in the Waite Smith deck is really what is going to help you be a very good reader. And it's also going to help you give good readings for yourself, for others, but be able to read all other decks and sort of compare and contrast when you're doing readings with this deck. So here we have this tiny little key to the tarot, and it's a very, very dry read. I've read like half of it, and I have to force myself to finish the rest of it. And he's also intentionally vague because, he's not supposed to give away all the secrets of the Golden Dawn. But the deck that they include in this, and I haven't opened it yet, but even just seeing the Magician, the coloring in this, I know this is going to be colored so beautifully by just looking at this one card. I'm so excited to use this deck. I'm just not prepared to open it yet. And then here's the backs. So if you're interested in getting into tarot, or you're a beginner tarot reader and you really want a comprehensive guide and you want to understand not just tarot, but the history, where it came from, the secret society that it came from, and you have some money to spare, this may be a good purchase for you. It's not for everybody, but this had to be in my collection. So that's it. With that said, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you later.